Isn't it funny that every time there's a loner, crazy loser, psychopath with a gun that tries to kill someone, the media is always pointing directly at video games as the culprit, because it couldn't possibly be psychological issues. It couldn't possibly be problems at home. No, it always has to be video games that's the problem. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT, and that's exactly what's transpired right now when it comes to this would-be trying to be assassin, this Thomas Crooks fellow who tried to assassinate President Trump and failed. And in the aftermath of that assassination attempt, you would think people would be pointing at him as, man, that's a problem. Let's look into his personal life. What could have led to this kind of psychotic behavior? To go down a road so far that you become so extreme to the point of trying to murder a soon-to-be potential presidential candidate. There are no words for how terrible that is. But instead of the news focusing on what could have transpired, they instantly jump to pointing fingers at video games, specifically Fox News. And I know there's already going to be people jumping at that one, but there are two reporters for Fox News that put an article together that completely just made me roll my eyes. This article headline stating, Trump shooter used gaming site that features presidential assassination game. Oh, you mean Steam? The gaming site that hosts like basically every game that's ever been created on PC? They were trying really hard to connect the dots with this one. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article breaking down this abhorrently ridiculous article from Fox News. It's a familiar narrative where video games are scapegoated for acts of violence. No different than blaming someone for simply wearing a baseball cap, or as someone on Twitter told me, wearing socks. It's like, yep, that's what someone does. They play video games. Oh, that must be the reason why they tried to murder someone. Remember when that activist lawyer Jack Thompson was trying to stop Grand Theft Auto and failed miserably, but not before a whole lot of people were looking at the game industry, wondering if Grand Theft Auto was really the culprit for this? And if that's the case, how bad are video games? And how deep does this rabbit hole go? And oh my god, we need to censor and block and stop and make sure nobody can play video games anymore because we can't trust people to have fun on their own. We need to implement changes to stop that.
Are you saying that Devin Moore shot 3 people in the head because of a video game?
What we're saying is that Devin Moore was, in effect, trained to do what he did. He was given a murder simulator.
Recent report from Fox News had pointed fingers at Steam, suggesting that the shooter Thomas Matthew Crooks could have been influenced by a specific game on the platform involving presidential assassinations called Mr. President. Let's take a quick look at who these authors are for this article, because that's always fascinating to me. Ever since all the Kotaku stuff went down, I always wonder about the people and what they write about, because they can't possibly have gone to school for journalism. They couldn't possibly have any kind of record behind them, could they? The first writer, Rebecca Rosenberg, obtained her master's degree from Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism, which goes to show, by the way, that going to school to become a journalist does not mean that you're a journalist. If anything, it teaches you to find roundabout ways to write articles to get people's attention, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's based in any kind of reality or fact. Then we have Jackie Heinrich, who is a 3-time Emmy Award-winning reporter serving as a White House correspondent for Fox News. She attended George Washington University Elliott School of International Affairs and worked as an intern for United States Congress, among many other TV affiliates. So while she didn't get her degree in journalism, the other one did, and they've both been working in this area for a while. But again, I go back to, this article has absolutely nothing to do with the facts of what Thomas Crooks actually did and the games that he played. This is the extremely misleading headline that they ran with. Trump shooter used gaming site that features presidential assassination game. Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20, also had a Discord account. I mean, technically he had a Steam account and technically he had a Discord account, and that's really, at this point, all we know about him. But it doesn't stop the media from jumping to conclusions to make articles about them. It would seem that they have all the pedigree of real journalists, complete with creating a false narrative of running with completely fake news for clicks. By the pretzel logic of their headline, the shooter could have just as easily been inspired by playing Hello Kitty Sanrio Friends Racing and seen a cloud in the sky while driving that looks like a bullet and maybe thought, hey, I don't like politics, and Hello Kitty somehow represents that, and because of that, I need to go shoot a would-be president. Like, this is the logic that I find with this. They have no reality based in fact on any of this whatsoever. Further down in their article, they finally reveal their embarrassingly misleading statement. The Steam platform offers more than 100,000 games, including the Assassination game, Mr. President. You know, the one that we're basing this article upon, saying, oh, he could have played that game? You're talking about a platform that hosts over 100,000 games, and you're trying to portray this as the shooter was playing an assassination game, specifically an assassination game against Donald Trump. You're picking this one seemingly out of thin air because it fits the narrative that you want to run with. They continued, but there's no evidence that Crooks played it. But even without any evidence, their gross narrative persisted. They want people to be angry at the video game industry. And they even go into talking about what the game is comprised of. The game's protagonist, Dick Rockhard Johnson, the best bodyguard money can buy, is sworn to protect the most hated presidential candidate of all time, Ronald Rump, the game's description reads. And I'm not gonna lie, doing more research for this video, I didn't really know about this game. I think I might have heard about it when it came out back in 2016, but I never really looked into it until now. And watching the trailer and the video footage from it, it actually looks pretty good. It's available on Steam for $10, and it looks like a kind of sandbox, throw your character into these bullets trying to stop them from getting to the president. It's definitely a unique idea for a game, and I actually might try this one out myself. This whole thing strikes me as like someone having tea with someone else who heard a story from someone else about a game that exists, and they made all these connections over a conversation saying, this is a great idea to run with the story, that maybe the shooter played this crazy random game that existed on Steam for many years, and because that game existed, we're going to connect the dots that there was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump because he had a Steam account. Which the only information we have about his Steam account that is actually factual right now is Crooks posted the following message on his Steam account. July 13th will be my premiere. Watch as it unfolds. I mean, just hearing that, it's like, clearly this guy is delusional, psychotic, crazy, insane, unhinged. There's images floating out there that are being scrubbed for some reason on the internet that potentially could be Crooks. He looks trans in this image, and maybe mass media doesn't want this picture to get out there because that would ruin their narrative of a normal white dude that just crazily played this Steam game and wanted to shoot the president because he played a video game. Think about how the narrative is being changed. He also had a Discord account, but as of now, not much is known about that beyond what Discord themselves has commented. It was rarely utilized, has not been used in months, and we have found no evidence that it was used to plan this incident, promote violence, or discuss his political views. It almost seems like, call me crazy here, but none of this stuff had anything to do with him trying to shoot Donald Trump. Maybe, I'm just saying, maybe he was just paying too much attention to the media, indoctrinating him to make him think that he's supposed to hate Donald Trump to the point of killing him. I know, crazy, but that's exactly what it looks like. A Discord spokesperson continued, Discord strongly condemns violence of any kind, including political violence, and we will continue to coordinate closely with law enforcement. Various news outlets are also reporting that that same Discord account was closed, deactivated by Discord themselves after law enforcement asked them to. But back to the main issue here. We have to challenge these outdated stereotypes and instead push for a narrative that seeks to understand the root cause of the violence without resorting to simple scapegoating. Clearly, this is mass media trying to change the narrative, redirect people's thought process, instead of pointing at them saying, oh, maybe these are the people that were making us pissed about this president for so long to the point of making someone want to kill him. No, we need to find a scapegoat, like video games, the easy go-to plan that always seems to work so that people are distracted thinking, oh, these games are making people crazy. Diving deeper into the motivations behind these kind of tragic events, it's clear that simplifying the narrative to point fingers at video games is not only misleading, but also extremely harmful. It stigmatizes millions of us who responsibly enjoy gaming without adverse effects. As Jessica Bowman pointed out in her tweet, it looks like there was a lot more going on with the shooter than just a simple video game addiction. The insistence of these media outlets to blame video games in the face of any violent incident involving young individuals is an obsolete tactic that overlooks any real issues at hand. It diverts everyone's attention so that they fixate on something that has literally nothing to do with anything. Violence in video games has been proven time and time again by major scientific studies proving that there is no direct connection between people playing a violent video game and then going and acting violent in real life. There is no connection whatsoever. The people that play video games might be playing violent games, but they are conducting violent events in real life because they are psychologically unhinged. Has nothing at all to do with video games. And stories like these that are run by major outlets like Fox News drive me completely insane. But not to the point of, this guy, in case anyone's wondering. I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article, links, references, screenshots that seem to be scrubbed from a lot of places. If you guys appreciate what I'm doing here, please consider hitting that join button. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
Smash it,